At the heart of the Sahara Desert, a sleeping evil has awoken, a fortress and an army erected from the sands of the desert itself. The cause of this disturbance, Noctis, a powerful creature born from the earth itself with the strength of 10 men, having fought countless battles without receiving a wound. He has only one goal, and that's to annihilate all life on the planet. A message echoes across the world. Noctis wants all to know of their inevitable downfall. Only one person in the world arises to answer their call, Lavitz, a strong, spear-wielding knight of Romania with unmatchable honor and courage. He volunteers to lead an army straight to the heart of the Sahara Desert, where Noctis resides, to take him down. The leader of Romania agrees with Lavitz and tells the armies to amass in the shipyard. Before the departure, Lavitz steps up to give a speech to the army.
Men, on this journey we will fight many monsters and travel right into the heart of the enemy territory. No doubt some of you will die, but it will be a courageous death. You're putting your lives on the line for the sake of the world. I look before me and see not just soldiers, but brothers I would lay down my life to protect. I am proud to fight alongside each and every one of you.
On their way across the seas, they are battered by some of the most furious storms anyone has ever seen. The ships are tossed to and fro, and men are struggling to stay up on deck. Suddenly the storm is completely calmed, and this unnerves many of the men as to its almost unnatural nature. This quickly leaves their minds, however, as a beautiful singing comes through the air. They all search for the singing as they come across beautiful women, beckoning for the men to come in the water. None can resist this song of the sirens, except for Lavitz. He calls out to his men,
Do not be fooled by the temptresses before you. They wish not for your embrace, but your flesh.
The men stop for a moment to realize that these weren't beautiful women, but hideous sea creatures with big teeth. The men then fire arrows at them, killing some and wounding many, and luckily escape.
The rest of their journey across the sea was uneventful, and they began their arduous journey across the desert. They had been traveling for several days, some men falling from dehydration. Everyone was tired. Just when everyone was beginning to think they could make it across the desert peacefully, 2 giant spiders sprang up out of the sand right in the midst of Lavitz's troops. This action alone killed several of them, and ensuing confusion killed even more. Lavitz immediately sprang into action, ordering his men to calm down and fight the creatures. Lavitz himself charged against one of the monsters, engaging it in combat. Its legs were as big as Lavitz's spear. He was parrying all the blows the spider gave to him. Lavitz finally sees an opening and stabs the spider right into its head. He looks to his side and sees that his men has managed to take down the other spider, but had suffered many losses. After giving their men who died a proper burial and giving a few words of prayer, they continued on their journey.
After several more days of travel through the desert, they reached an area no longer covered with sand, but barren and dry to the point where the ground was cracking apart. Filling the contents of the area was an army guarding the fortress at the center. This ensuing battle will determine the fate of the world. Lavitz and his army charged straight into the midst of the sand army. The army of sand made up for in strength, but they lacked in coordination. Lavitz had only one goal in mind: reach the fortress at the center of the army and defeat their leader. Thus far, he was succeeding. With the sand construct's lack of coordination, it was almost as if he was dancing around them, killing one after another. He stopped and realized he had reached the gate. Just as he was beginning to ponder how to get the gate open, it opened of its own accord. Lavitz was suspicious and stepped into the fortress. He walked down a massive hallway before reaching a large throne room. Sitting at the throne was the Sand Army leader, Noctis, the cause of the world's terror. No words were needed between Lavitz and the creature. They both assumed a fighting position with their weapon of choice, Lavitz his spear and Noctis his halberd. They charged at each other, clashing in a beautiful dance of sparks and flashing metal. Noctis was far stronger than Lavitz, but Lavitz was faster. Just when Lavitz thought he may have a chance at winning, several sand soldiers rose from the ground and began to clash with Lavitz along with Noctis. The fight was becoming much more difficult for Lavitz, but he began to notice a pattern in the attacks of the sand soldiers. began to formulate a plan, luring the sand soldiers and Noctis into the right position. Just when the soldiers and Noctis were about to strike the final blow on Lavitz, he rolled right between Noctis' legs, dodging Noctis' blow. However, the sand soldiers were already committed to their attack, and 3 blades pierced Noctis' chest, killing him instantly. With Noctis' final breath passing, all of the sand soldiers crumbled apart. The battle was won. The world was saved.